Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We're flying the A320 from the airport here in Pout. I think I'm saying it correctly, but it looks like that's how it's pronounced, but I could be wrong. And we are headed to Abidjan. It's probably going to be about a three and a half hour flight, I'm guessing, because there's no way we're going to cover 987 nautical miles in 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm guessing it's going to be a little bit closer to three and a half, maybe closer to 4 total by the time we land. So hopefully everybody's having a good day, good Friday, happy Friday, the day after Thanksgiving for those of us here in the United States. The recovery from all the food from yesterday, recover from the food coma. All right, let's get in here and get everything set up so we can get airborne. Morning, Mick. How are you? I don't know why it always seems to have... Oops. I thought I had all that switched. I'll have to double check all my settings later, but that's okay. We can do it here. There we go. Get all that going so we can talk to the tower.
Ground orbit 2377 IFR to Abidjan, ready to copy. Orbit 2377 is cleared to Abidjan Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 01 climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 120.5, squawk 1743. Orbit 2377 cleared to Abidjan Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 01 climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure on 120.5, squawk 1743. Orbit 2377.
It's in both channels
correct.
today.
Contact ground on 121.8.
As usual.
Ground orbit 2377 with Alpha ready to taxi IFR. Orbit 2377 taxi to and hold short of runway 01 via taxiway Alpha Alpha 4 Charlie Charlie 7. Contact tower on 118.8 when ready. Taxiing hold short runway 01 via taxiway Alpha Alpha 4 Charlie Charlie 7 orbit 2377. Ground orbit 2377 requesting pushback. Orbit 2377 pushback request accepted.
Alright, let's get this started. Alright. Away we go. Engines are spooling up nicely. I can hear them. Let's go to the
Ground
left.
orbit 2377 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left. Orbit 2377, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Go. I I'm going to change that tail code. That's all right.
Ground orbit 2377 requesting the end of pushback.
I think we can handle it from here.
Orbit 2377 request to end pushback received.
We'll let and there we go. Taxi out. And we'll be in the air momentarily. Might be kind of a quiet day in the chat, I'm guessing. Speculating ahead of time. It's Friday, a lot of people are might be otherwise engaged, preparing for the weekend possibly. Alright, almost to our point here at the end. Wait for, we gotta call the tower, we'll get our altimeter reading. So we're at the right altitude when we take off. There we are.
Tower orbit 2377 ready for IFR departure runway 01. Orbit 2377 altimeter 29.9er 110 26 at 24. Cleared for takeoff runway 01.
Okay.
Cleared for takeoff runway 01 orbit 2377.
Let's pull out here and line up, and we'll be in the air momentarily. Okay. Almost. About as good as it's going to get. Alright. I think we are all set. Let's pull up the flight plan so we know. Now this is a direct departure, so what's going to happen is I'm going to have to take off, and then once we get going, I'll engage the autopilot and we'll have to turn, we'll be off track for a bit, but we'll get caught up. So, all right, here we go. We're spooled up equally. Okay, let's get the autopilot engaged. Director.
Orbit 2377, contact Dakar Center on 120.5. Good day.
120.5 orbit 2377.
So crusty salute to Diaz.
Dakar Center.
And away we go.
2377 is passing 1,700 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Orbit 2377, Dakar Center, altimeter 29.901. Continue to Durno as planned.
Alright, let's get our speed set up. There was no like departure route out of the airport, so I was a bit skeptical about this one, but I figured, well, we'll give it a go, and it worked out rather nicely. Now the other thing, this is the one when we land at Abidjan, we have an RNAV approach like we did yesterday. There's not, I don't think there's an ILS or something else that will help guide the plane in like we normally get when we're doing an ILS approach, or even apparently if you pick RNAV and then you hit the approach button, it will still lock in on the ILS, and it's supposed to be more accurate, that way of landing. But I don't think it doesn't seem like it has that system on the way that we're approaching in, which I picked strictly because we're coming in kind of off the water there, so it should be a nice kind of scenic landing. So if we have to fly it in manually like we did yesterday, then that's what we'll do.
Orbit 2377, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210, wow. Orbit 2377.
It's not even a minor sort of climb, you know, like normally we would get maybe to like 180 first. A little bit of clouds behind us, but looks like we're going to have a pretty clear flight. the entire way. So at least we'll be able to see some scenery, unlike yesterday's flight, which was very cloudy. Now, it's very possible that when we get closer to our destination, that, will certainly change. We could encounter weather when we get there, but we'll see. Alright, let's look out on our flight plan. Zoom way out. So that one way ahead of us is DIRNO. Okay. Dirno. Okay. We are on our way. Yeah, it should be a very smooth flight. At least it'll be clear. We can enjoy a little bit of what little bit of scenery there is. So yeah, there we are. We're on our way. We'll change our altimeter to standard here once we get. I think. Well, I'm not sure, but we'll just do that because we'll be above whatever it is here. Okay, that's fine, Mick. It seems like it's going to be a pretty quiet day anyway, so... But that could change. You never know. Yamela might still be passed out from all the food. Let's change to our standard. So, not that we're far off from it, because we're the altimeter reading was within just about normal range anyway. So I think we're set to go here. As we get closer to 210, we'll probably get the call to go to 370. Or maybe even 300 first. We'll see. Some nice scenery here, though. Kind of, interesting. Like a lot of I can't remember what these are called. I know we have them in California.
Orbit
Out of Indian water
237,
here.
climb and maintain flight level 330.
There we go.
Climb and maintain flight level 330 orbit 2377.
Well, I wasn't too far off on the guess. What they were going to tell us to go to once we got near 210. You know, it's interesting. After a while, you kind of know when to expect ATC to tell you to do different things. You know. Now, somebody made a comment at the end of yesterday's stream. I didn't see it until just as I was about to end the stream on Twitch, asking if I'm a real pilot or just a sim guru. Well, I can assure you, one, I am not a real pilot. Never been to flight school in real life, never flown a plane in real life, anything like that. Nope, not me. I don't consider myself a sim guru. What I have learned, and let me just find the person who made the comment so I can, Zarathos 000. I hope I'm saying that right, and I apologize if I'm not. Might be Zarathos, might be Zarathos. Either way. No, I don't think of myself as a sim guru. What I try to do, because we're going to make mistakes in this simulator. No matter what we try to do, we're going to make mistakes, which is fine because it's just a simulator. You know, when military pilots train in their aircraft, you know, they're in a simulator. That's where the mistakes, you know, it's not going to cost $1 billion plane or a multi-million-dollar plane, whatever. It's better to make this mistakes in a simulator than it would be in the real world. So I like to try to do things as somewhat realistically as possible, but I can't take it too seriously because it's just a simulator. You know, there's people who play, especially on the PC, this game, they take it very seriously. Now, some of them are actual pilots. They know all the procedures, they know all the things that they should and shouldn't do, you know. So they're very serious about it. I try to be a little bit serious, but I also try to have a bit of fun with it. I don't know if Zarathos, if you're gonna pop into my stream again today, but if you happen to see this video, quite possibly sometime today or within the next few days, I wouldn't say that I'm a guru. I keep trying to learn how to play the simulator as best as I possibly can using the only thing I have available, which is just an Xbox control pad. I don't have a flight stick and all that. So yeah, I don't think of myself as a guru by any stretch of the imagination. Not in the least. I try to, you know, improve whatever flight I'm on, whatever plane I'm flying. I just try to do it as best as possible. Have some fun. If we crash, we crash. It's okay. You know, try to laugh it off and try again another time. You know. So, no, I do appreciate the sentiment, but I can assure you neither one is close to the truth. Well, the pilot one is definitely not the truth. The guru thing is, no, I don't think so. But I appreciate the comment. I was hoping I I didn't recognize that you had put everything in until I went on the Twitch on my Xbox to stop the stream. So I didn't get a chance to say anything to you directly. So if you happen to watch this at a later date before it's deleted off of my channel here on Twitch, I do appreciate the comment and the question / compliment, I guess, in a way. You know, I just try to do it as best as possible, and you know, I feel like we, you know, at this point of playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's some lessons we've learned. Now, some of those we might forget, you know, but which happens, you know. So yeah, I feel like we're improving, we're doing, you know, better and better each time, but that doesn't mean we won't make mistakes. So we will, and that's okay. If you're looking for a zero mistake sort of thing, I can assure you it's not going to be this channel. We're going to make mistakes. Well, if we will try to recover from the mistakes if we can, you know. But if we make a mistake and you know, the plane crashes and that's it, you know, that's the end of the stream, and you know, we'll be back the next day. So anyway, just reiterating, tomorrow, Spitfire Saturday. Spitfire Saturday is going to be an hour ahead than it normally is. We're going to be starting at 7:30 East Coast time, 12:30 UK time. But it's going to be I'm trying to make it a bit of a surprise for Mick especially. So so we're going to do that and have some fun with that. Sunday, Scenic Tour Sunday, we're going to be around Copenhagen and going over to Sweden to land over there. Monday, we are flying in Vietnam, Hoi An to Ho Chi Minh Airport. Tuesday, we are in Goa, going to Kolkata. That's on Monday. So, no, that's Tuesday. Wednesday, no stream on the 1st. I will not be streaming. Just kind of reiterating some stuff. So, if you want to write these down, you know, make a note when I'm streaming, you're more than welcome to do so. Wednesday, we will pick back up. We're going from Mariscal Sucre to Valencia in the A320. Friday, that's Thursday. Friday, we are going from Stockholm to Warsaw, again in the A320. Then we'll have Spitfire Saturday again. The 5th of December, Scenic Sunday, we're flying around Yosemite. That one I can tell you in advance. And then Monday the 6th, we're going to fly around the Greek Isles. And so on the 6th, we're doing a flight in the Islander. It's going to be a very very short. Well, the runway we're landing at in Castellorizo is a very unique approach, but we're going to have some fun with that. And then Tuesday, Rhodos to Santorini in the A320 should be I think that's going to be a very short flight. So if that's the case, then we'll add something on to that. Captain's discretion. So, yeah, no streaming on the 8th. I have appointments again that morning, and then the 9th. I gotta still plan the 9th and 10th, and on through that weekend in December. So, just kind of, if you weren't here the other day, every day I will always try to give some kind of an update, or reiterate what we're doing, in the days ahead. Now, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to find flights that last a reasonable amount of time, not too long, not too short, but if they are short, we may find something else, somewhere else to fly real quick, or we may pop into a different aircraft and have some fun. There you go. I have an idea if this Saturday's Spitfire Saturday goes fairly quickly, and it might. I don't know. I think it will. Not that I want it to, but I have a feeling it's not going to last very long. If this Saturday's flight doesn't last more than if it's well under an hour, what I will tell you is we are going to take the F-14 through the Mach loop.
And maintain flight level 370.
Go.
Climb and maintain flight level 370, orbit 2377.
See, we're close to flight level 330. So I can say very confidently that for sure, if the Spitfire flight does not last very long on Saturday, we are definitely going to go in the F-14 and take it through the Mach loop. So do stay tuned for that on Saturday if that flight isn't very long. So we've taken the Spitfire through the Mach loop. We've taken the F-15 through the Mach loop. I'm definitely taking, one way or the other, one of the Spitfire Saturdays we are going to take. We'll fly the Spitfire, but we'll take the F-14 and go through the Mach loop. You know what? We're going to do that anyway Saturday. I'm just thinking about it. This Saturday, Spitfire first, F-14 through the Mach loop. So grab your sick bags if you need them. We're gonna try to haul butt through the Mach loop as fast as we can, and of course as safely as we can. I'm hoping, well, I think the wings don't go back until you reach a certain speed, because once you go below, I don't think I'm going to be able to, I don't think there's a way I can manually move them back, because that would be cool to see the wings swept back on the F-14 while we go through the Mach loop, but I don't think it's possible. but we'll have some fun. I was thinking, I think either last night when I was going to sleep, or maybe it was early this morning when I woke up. There's a YouTuber by the name of Ward Carroll, who was a what they call the radio or radar intercept officer, the backseater in the F-14. He's got a YouTube channel. He talks a little bit about his experiences as a naval aviator and all that. He did a survey kind of thing. What is the what is your, if you could think of any squadron paint scheme for the Tomcat, which one is your all-time favorite? And of course, when I think of the Tomcat, I always think of the VF-84, the Jolly Rogers with the skull and crossbones. So you know, that one we're definitely going to fly through the Mach loop. It's probably one of the most recognized, and I didn't remember this until he brought it up in his video, talking about, he counted them down, and that squadron marking made an appearance in the movie The Final Countdown, where a modern aircraft carrier travels back in time to just shortly before the Japanese attack Pearl Harbor, and they have the moral dilemma: do they stop it? Do they take action and shoot down the fighters as they're heading towards Hawaii, or do they let events unfold as they did? So yeah, it's a pretty interesting movie, pretty interesting concept. But yeah, the Jolly Rogers their aircraft markings were featured in that movie. I totally forgot about that. I remember seeing the movie. Anyway, I got a runny nose this morning. I don't know why. I gotta blow my nose real quick. Pardon me. Ugh, sorry about that. So yeah, so we'll definitely take that through the Mach loop. So yeah, we're just gonna add that on for Saturday, regardless of how long the Spitfire flight lasts. So that should be a good one. I think we're still slowly climbing. We'll just let it. It's interesting because it kind of, I think what I'm going to have to do, quite honestly, is I'm going to have to go back and kind of review some of the things from the jetliner tutorial that I did way back in the days. God, it seems like a lifetime ago already. Yeah, I got to review that because I feel like there's something I'm missing. But again, it could be. I think Mellows said that there is a bug of some sort that is kind of slowing the plane down once we get up here. It's like we don't have the same, climbing thrust sort of thing. But we're getting there, so that's okay. There's no other traffic in the sky. We don't have to worry about that, so that's all good. Got quite a bit of way to go still. Kind of on track, but we're slightly, get just a slight, yeah, just a little slight. Oh, see, now it kind of released, made that little last push. So yeah, we're not exactly flying straight, but we are flying towards Dirno, D-I-R-N-O. Let's go ahead. Well, I think we can go ahead and get the flight attendants moving around the cabin for service. People can move around now. We're at a safe cruise altitude now. Well, should have a nice quiet flight now. Just a quick update from the flight deck. We have reached our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. We anticipate a smooth flight. However, if you are seated, we ask that you do keep your seat buckle fastened in the event that we hit any pockets of air that cause some turbulence. Flight attendants will be moving through the cabin to serve you your lunch. We do appreciate you flying with Orbit today. We'll provide further updates as we get closer to our destination. Thank you. Now that was kind of professional, wasn't it? I might as well just do those automatic announcements. They could just hit the play button. Oh, I forgot to mention my first officer for today is First Officer Mick. We've been flying together for quite some time now, and we assure you it will be a fun and enjoyable flight. Golf Kilo is our next waypoint along our trip. Just kind of look over things while we're just cruising along here. I always like to just check out all the little switches and whatnot that So, in other news, the DC6 has been pulled from the storefront here on the Xbox. It will return once PMDG gets to the bottom of the problems. They've been in contact, according to the head of PMDG. They have been in contact with Sobo and Microsoft, I think Microsoft especially, to discuss the issues. The good thing was, apparently, if I remember correctly, Microsoft Xbox engineers were able to, I guess, replicate the issue. So that should help them. Oh, I have my own center. I didn't know that.
Going to 128.1 orbit 2377. Roberts Center, orbit 2377, flight level 370.
Orbit 2377, Roberts Center, continue to journal as planned.
I could have told you that. I didn't know I had my own center named here in Africa. Wow, I feel special. Anyway, so they feel that that because they were able to replicate the issue on the Xbox, that it should assist them in determining what to fix. But they have pulled it from the storefront after there was lots of calls to do so. Now, I guess it's a smart thing. So yeah, hopefully that gets fixed. That is a very complex plane, no. So I like to get it, and I'd like to, spend time off stream just going through like all the startup stuff. I would have maybe even do a oh, well, there we go. %69% humidity. Whew. Ugh. Thank you, Mick, for that update. Appreciate that. So yeah, I would have to spend time just getting familiar with the startup stuff, takeoff, flying it, and then landing, of course. It would be great if they added I don't know if they could do it in the game, but it would be interesting if they could put in a tutorial, kind of like the jetliner thing. I think that would be really beneficial, to the people in the simulator, whether you're on the PC or on the Xbox, because it's a lot of information to deal with. So hopefully we could do that, but I'll have to I've got the manuals and everything downloaded, so it'd just be a matter of following the all the stuff and everything. But with an aircraft that complex, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. The issue is going to be that if we start if we do a cold start like we do at the gate, you know, come in and start turning everything on and getting the systems kind of going, that's going to add a lot of time to the stream, which I'm prepared to do, but it may be that there's only one day a week that we are going to do something longer, you know, like that. Hello, Amilla. Welcome. How are you? Are you recovering from your food coma from yesterday? Nice to see you here. So yeah, if I can do that, I think it would add a bit more, something a bit more to the stream, but it's going to be a very tedious process. It's not like, you know, when we start up the A320, I just go through the checklist. The co-pilot does everything, and you know, if we did it properly, it would take some time to get it going. You know, in a long flight like this, that would certainly add, you know, more time to the flight. And I would like to do that one day, because there is a you have to start up the engines without any assistance. So I don't know if that means you can't have the checklist open, or I think you can have the checklist open, but you can't have your virtual co-pilot do all the switches for you. You'd have to do them all yourself. But there is an achievement for that, I believe. Let's see what else. So there is some new aircraft in the marketplace. Some really interesting things that have come out. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. There is some new airports as well in the marketplace. I'm a bit leery about buying airports, only because it seems with some of the, you know, when we get either a world update or a sim update, the information that is being provided by a third-party developer for these airports, the updates may screw up that stuff. Now, that means that the that developer is going to have to go in and fix the issues and release an update. I'm doing okay, Amilla. Well, I'm good. It's rainy here. It's cold. It's just, you know, it's just kind of a blah Friday. Oh, I think it has gone from rain. Yep, here comes the snow. It is snowing right now. I am looking outside, and the rain has turned to snow. It's not like super heavy. It's, you know, almost like a slushy kind of rain, but it's, the temperature is cold enough that now there's just a little flurry, but nothing significant. If I look out again and it's like just dumping down, then I'll certainly no, I just had some chicken, and then I had some soup. I had chicken for lunch, and I made some soup for dinner. It was a very kind of a you know, very minimal sort of thing. So no, I didn't go anywhere, just stayed home. And oh yeah, I saw those too, Amilla. That was pretty cool. You know, and speaking of which, I haven't downloaded the pictures from when I was out of town earlier in the month. I keep meaning to, and I just never do it. I gotta find the time to do that. What else? What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was just looking, and it's a little bit of a slush. It's not a heavy snowfall. It's just a very wet snow, so it's not sticking. But yeah, the airport thing. Yeah, I'm a bit leery about buying them, because even though they look phenomenal, like, they update the buildings and make things look a bit more realistic. Oh, you're welcome. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of that stuff gets there's issues whenever there's an update that comes out, and if the developer isn't on top of their game, so to speak, it's easy to for them to miss that that the airport has been affected in a negative way. But yeah, a few planes came out. Nothing. I don't think there was anything overly significant that maybe you say, "Oh, I got to get that," when I can. So that's. But yeah, no, a little bit of a, wow, look at that, a little bit of movement in the plane. It's a little squirrely. Look at that. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't really, I think in quote-unquote normal times, somebody would have invited me over, quite possibly. Which, I get a lot of people are apprehensive about that. So, no, I just made the best of it as I could, and, it is what it is. I've always wondered, what is that little... Curious to know what that little screen right there does. There's one on each side. But I don't know... Very curious to know what those are for. Can I turn it on at all? No, I don't think I can. Oh, it slid up. It lit up. That's interesting. Huh. Oh well. I don't know what that's for, but it's got a blue light on now. Now it's soft. Okay. So yeah. In days past, a long time ago, sometimes what I would do, if I didn't go to my family's house for Thanksgiving, because sometimes when I lived in California, it was a long drive, especially with traffic and everything. So I would just say, this year I'm not going to come up for Thanksgiving. It's just too much driving and all that. My mom would ask me. Now, Mela probably would get a kick out of this. So my mom would ask me, very concerned, well, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? And I'd say, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Wendy's, and I'm going to get a double double burger with cheese, big fries, big soda. That's not a Thanksgiving. Well, the meal is what it is. It doesn't matter if it's turkey or whatever you want it to be. It's doesn't always have to be that. Now, some people have ham instead of turkey. Some people don't have any of that stuff. They just, whatever. So I don't know why there's this, what do you call it? This, if you have Thanksgiving, it has to be turkey, stuffing, gravy, all that stuff. I don't know why that is. But people, that, I guess it's because it's a tradition. So I would automatically, I'm not going to go with the tradition. I'm going to do something non-traditional. I will go and have I'll go to Wendy's and have a double burger with cheese and large fries and a large soda. My mom would be like, no, that is not. It is what it is. So, yeah, I just, she would get so upset when I would say that, though. Oh, somebody dropped a like and then dipped out. Wonder who that could be. Well, if you don't say hello, we can't say hi back. Well, I mean, I don't quite, I get it. It's tradition, right? Thanksgiving, it's a tradition, when you have Thanksgiving, it's this, not a Wendy's double hamburger. But if that's a, we got a bit of clouds ahead. Oh, low clouds right over there. Look at that. It's fine, I don't know why people get upset about it, to be honest. I mean, but it's I don't know. So we are still making our way. We're almost an hour into the flight, roughly. Still got quite a bit of way to go, so it's still slushy snow. It's not sticking yet, but it is cold enough here to even create that slushy snow. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm the kind of person that sometimes I don't necessarily go with what's traditional, because it's after a while it's kind of boring. It's this, every year everybody frets about the turkey and the cooking time and the size of the turkey and all the gravy and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and all the other stuff that goes with it. Everybody just like, does that seem like you're being thankful? I guess in a way you are, because people are willing to put the effort into making the meal, right? But look at all the stress that it creates, and then of course you've got the crazy family members that come over, and watch out for Uncle so-and-so, or watch out for Aunt blah blah blah, or cousin, and then you got to contend with that as well. Which always, it's just, it makes for interesting stories when you're older and you look back on it and say, oh yeah, I remember this one Thanksgiving and this happened, and and then you laugh about it, but but look at the stress that it creates, though. And it's the same thing for like Christmas. People freak out about getting the perfect gift for somebody, instead of saying, well, I got you something and it's from the heart. Or a lot of people are getting creative now. They make something, But yeah, it's very strange how stressed people get over it. And then you eat all the food, and then you're just like, you're sitting on the couch in the recliner or whatever. You've got the TV on. A lot of people watched football yesterday. It's just like this very weird tradition kind of thing, and it's crazy sometimes. You know, not necessarily always in a good way either. I don't know. It's very, very interesting. Kind of a, just thinking about the whole thing. So I don't know. I like tradition, but I also don't like it. After a while, it's like, why can't we do something a little bit different? Why can't we just make some chicken strips or chicken tender things or whatever, and a bunch of get a big thing of ranch dipping sauce, and everybody can have some dipping sauce, and make some popcorn or some French fries or whatever, and then just watch a movie instead of watching football, or maybe even like watch a family movie, somebody brings over the old movies of when family members were younger or something, and just see, that to me is something more reasonable than watching football or whatever. Why does nobody ever think about that? It's quite an interesting idea. How we are so ingrained with these traditions, and it's almost like we're afraid somehow to break those. Just do something outside the box. Be a little bit different. I don't know why that's such a big deal, and why people freak out about that. That's what gets me, is that people get very like, oh, no, you can't. You want a Wendy's double burger with? It's like they almost have a heart attack, And I don't want people to have a heart attack, obviously. Why is this thing turning a little bit? Well, this is rather odd. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Where are we going? Why are we off the... Oh, what is going on here? No. What is... Why is this happening? We're not near a point, so I don't know why the plane would suddenly decide that it's got to turn here. Oh, what's happening? Don't tell me this flight plan's broken. Well, we're still turning. This is rather strange. Look at that turn. Wow. Still turning. This is rather odd. That was wholly unexpected. Let's see if we get...
You are 3,500 feet below your assigned
Oh, what in the world?
Climb and maintain
What?
flight level 370.
How?
Climb and maintain flight level 370, orbit 2377.
What just happened? That was rather odd. That was... What just happened? It lost altitude. It's still doing it. Now it's going... Oh my good. Okay. Come on, plane level off, please. And start climbing back to 370. Please and thank you. Wow. That was... I do not know what just happened. That was strange. I will not... I do not know what just took place. Wow. We were losing altitude too. Holy crap. I do not... That was just insane. Well, we're back on course, but it was just like it just had a mind of its own. You know? That was... Oh, okay. Well, at least we're back on track. It happens once a year, so we make the extra effort for that day or week. Wow, okay. Wow, that was so unexpected, but at least we're back on... Sorry, we're back on track. I didn't even realize we were losing altitude that whole time, too. Yeah, okay, well, we're headed back the right direction, so that's a good sign. But now we got to get back up to 370. And it seems like we're kind of stuck. Wow. Okay.
Orbit 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 370.
Well, I think what I'm going to have to do... Alright. I'm just going to have to tell it to go. See, now it's like doing that dip, goes down, then back up. Yeah, wow, that was... I was like, I thought I hit something and caused everything to like turn off, and the plane just suddenly was gonna, you know, just went into this crazy turn, and then, you know, we were gonna lose it. Okay, well, we're back on track, so hopefully. Yeah, that was a rather... See, I would expect that if there was another waypoint and there was something about that waypoint that is broken, and so the plane had to go back around, and then it picked up the signal for the next one or something. But yeah, wow, that was... Whew. When ATC said you're 3,500 feet, I'm like, oh crap! We not only we're off track, but we're losing altitude too. Okay, all right. Well, we're okay. We're fine. Now, if we encounter more issues like that, we may just end the stream, because I don't know, quite honestly, what I could do to, I mean, I don't want to try to fly this thing manually the rest of the way. That is way too much work. And I don't have, I think if I had the yoke and everything, I could do it. But with just the controller, I think my thumbs would get sore after a while, because I'd be constantly moving stuff or you know, with the left thumb stick, which controls the flight stuff, my left thumb would just go numb after a while, I think. Yeah, that was rather strange. Okay. All right. Well, we're still on our way. If it had, I think the decision point would have been, if it didn't correct itself and get back on track, we would have ended the stream right there. There's no. I'm not going to try to hand fly an A320 for 517 nautical miles. I don't. No, that's not. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, but no. And see, it I guess the issue is, it's just you never know when it's going to happen. You know, you guys have experienced that, but it's not like it's, you know, if we were all flying the same route, same flight plan and everything, then perhaps it would be, you know, we know that flight plan is essentially broken, as I'll just call it that, even though it's not. I'm just using it as a very loose term. But here we are in Africa. We're just cruising along just fine, and so, yeah, that's insane that happened. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I thought for sure I had moved something or whatever. When I minimized ATC, I thought I had, you know, inadvertently turned off the autopilot. But I didn't hear the warning, because normally when you disengage the autopilot, you hear that ding, 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 that, you know, there's a distinct sound when it's disengaged. So, okay, we're on our way still. That would be such a disappointment. You know, we're at least, let's see, it was 900 something on nautical miles, so we're almost halfway into the flight. Yeah, it'd be very disappointing if we had a, you know, it's just like a failure of some kind, and so, okay. It's like the ghost of Clarence. Our numpty AI somehow found his way onto the flight. Okay, well, now we can breathe easier. We're back on track, so. I do appreciate everybody coming in today, hanging out on this rainy Friday here in New York. Definitely trying not to go outside today. It's rather yucky weather. Oh, I forgot. Sunday, before we go flying in Copenhagen, we got Farm Sim first. That's right. Almost forgot about that. Before we have Scenic Sunday, we have Farming Sunday. So all the crops on that farm are all grown. They're ready for harvesting. What we'll probably do is we'll start with the cotton first, get all that done, and then we'll go with the other crops. I think it was sunflowers. I think I grew. So yeah. So we'll get the cotton bale created. Hopefully it's a full bale, so I can get the most out of that, most money out of it, and then we'll take that to the spinnery, drop that off for sale, and if there's a little bit left over, we'll just go ahead and sell that as well. Just get it out, so we don't have to worry about it. And then the sunflower stuff, so we'll get that all done, and then we'll fertilize and plant and go again. I think it was sometime earlier in the week, Mick, you were streaming, and I said I was working on an achievement. Now, the achievement is you have to, like, cultivate 100 hectares of land, seed it, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? I didn't realize that, but that's 1,000 acres total, right? That's a lot to do, but it has to be land that you own. It doesn't count if you're doing a contract. So that one day I was working on something, and I said, oh, I'm working on this achievement. It didn't count for anything. And then I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, that's like 1,000 acres. You know. So, yeah. But, you know, it was a contract. I got something out of it, so, yeah. Yeah, we'll have farming on Sunday before we go flying. I see Ace has been flying a lot more recently, Amela. He's been streaming Flight Sim. As I noticed, he said, we're doing it again, yes again, which I'm guessing a lot of people are getting a little upset with his the fact that he's streaming Flight Sim so much. I'm kind of guessing. Which, I mean, you know, if it's his channel. If he wants to stream it, that's what he's going to do. You know? So... But yeah, I just thought that was kind of odd when I looked on the channel when he posted something and he said Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then he put in the title, yes again. That's interesting that he's doing that. But you know, there's lots to enjoy. Speaking of that, the forums have become, especially with this whole fiasco with what happened with the DC-6, the forums have become, I guess in a way toxic. Yeah, I saw that too, and then I guess he's got another one scheduled for today. So, but I think he's doing it because he can get Callum in there. You know, I know, what was it? Somebody else was asking if they could join the flight as well. So I guess that's good. I think he likes that just so. But I think Callum has been playing it more than Joe has, so I think he's helping Joe with the. Yeah, yeah. There was. So one of the threads I was following on the Microsoft forums was about how there was no new planes in the Xbox, but it turned from talking about that we'd been waiting for new aircraft in the marketplace, but then it became the focus about what happened with the DC-6. And it's like, okay, you're focusing on one plane. They know that there's a problem. They're in communication with the folks who work with the Xbox and everything. But it was like nobody could accept that. You know, nobody, the fact that they were able to replicate. Now, if I think back to the problems we used to report with Train Sim World 2, and maybe this is part of the problem. From what I understand, and I could be wrong, but the developer Xbox is not the same as a I guess in a way the one that I have here and the one that maybe Dovetail uses or whoever uses, they're two different things. So the problem is that because the developer one, it may mask those problems, and you won't know until the customers purchase the product and then discover this isn't working, that's not working, and they start compiling a list of all the things. The other issue is that Dovetail would generally say we can't replicate it, which means that they're still going. It sounds to me like they're going back to the developer Xbox, trying it again, and they're like, it works. We don't know what. And I think, again, part of it is that lack of communication between Dovetail and Microsoft. I think that right there is the key to a lot of what's happening. They don't communicate very well with one another. So when they said that they basically used a real world Xbox, not the developer one, they were able to replicate, like, oh yeah, this stuff isn't working, crap. So it's just but it's mind-boggling that people are like, but how could they forget that? Like, I can't, why didn't they do this or why didn't they do that? Well, that's just the way things work. Sorry, but that's just how it works. So yeah, it's I think that's part of the problem. That's why Dovetail is not getting ahead of the problems or realizing that there's a problem. They're using the developer Xbox, and it's not showing all the problems. Because when I read the statement from the head of PMDG yesterday or day before, whenever it was, I think it was yesterday, when he said the Xbox folks can replicate it, we know that there's the issue, we think we know how to fix the problem. That was the key right there. That was it's like the light bulb went off in my head and I said, wait a minute, if PMDG knows and they've been talking to the Microsoft folks who work with the Xbox, why isn't Dovetail doing the same thing? So either there's a bad relationship, or they just don't know who to talk to. Yeah, it does. And I was like, I wanted to pick it up, but then I was like, well, I have to wait to the first, and then when they said they pulled it from the store, now it will reappear eventually. When that will be is anybody's guess. You know. So, yeah, it's a bit disheartening, but you know they're aware of it. They're working on the fix, and they said that even though it's a long weekend or a holiday weekend, they're gonna try to get to the bottom of the problem, get it patched, and release it back into the marketplace. Oh, there's an airport way down there. Benko? I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest. No idea. So yeah. But I think that's part of the issue right there. I've learned, especially I learned this in the military, the way to solve problems 9 times out of 10 is just simply communicating. Both sides, whatever the issue is, somebody has to talk to somebody else. People have to come together and talk and troubleshoot it. If you just sit there and don't say diddly squat, well, you're not helping things. Alright, so we are tracking a little bit to the left there. Just a small... Alright, look at that. So we're 19,000 feet way yonder. We're going to get a little bit closer and we'll start reducing as we get closer to there. We'll go down to like 27,000, I think. We'll just do a 10,000 foot reduction eventually. Yeah, if in this case Dovetail and Microsoft are not in there, that's where the majority of the problems are happening right there. It seems to me, and I could be wrong, that Dovetail and Sony have a better relationship. That's just the instinct that I get. That the feeling I get is that Sony and Dovetail have a much better talking relationship, I guess. So I think if Dovetail wants to turn things around, they're going to have to find a way to start talking to Microsoft. And they're going to have to find a way to not just test it on the developer Xbox, but on a consumer Xbox. The one that we would have here in our homes. Then they could test it. I think that's the way to really test it. Not we test it for them, which leads to the frustration, I think. It's very kind of weird how it's not like smooth. It's got it's doing this short little ups and downs. I don't know if it's the wind. Okay, the wind is coming at us from the arrow there, I think is the wind. Yeah, coming out of 219 at 15 knots. So maybe that's part of the problem. Okay. Degas is coming up. We are landing in Abidjan there, Ethan. Welcome to the stream. We've got a bit of distance to go still. We've been in the air for about an hour and a half. Yeah, I think that's our total flight time right there, hour and a half right there. I know that's something I've not tried to use before, is the auto brakes. Skid is on, okay. Oops. Oops, I didn't. I was trying to look at the okay. We're in Africa, Ethan. We're flying over Africa right now. Okay, Mel. I feel like I recognize your name from before, Ethan. Have you been in the chat before? I kind of feel like I recognize the name. Okay, that's what I thought. Well, hope you're doing okay, Ethan. I think what I'll do here shortly is I'll go down to 32,000 feet. I'll request that, and then we'll go to 22,000 and then to 20,000. And we should be set up for our see if we can just look ahead here. Alright, so looking ahead, that's the marker there in front of us. And then we'll track to the right and begin our descent phase. Cleveland to Orlando. That would be a long flight. I have no doubt. I would have to look at that if it's, you know, within a reasonable amount of time. I could probably do it. It just depends on the on how long the flight is. But I will certainly look into that. I can't promise if I am able to do it. I can't say for sure when I would do it. So. I definitely 2 hours and 20 minutes. Okay. I'm trying not to get into this habit of people popping in and asking me to fly certain routes. Okay. Because I try to plan my flights like in advance. So if it's something I can squeeze into the schedule and it's a reasonable amount of time, I can look into it. But again, it you know, I can't say for sure when I would do it. But yeah, I'm really trying not to get where people feel like they can come in and start asking for routes. And I get part of it may be that you guys don't have Flight Simulator. So, but it's, you know, a local airport for you or whatever. I get that, but I don't want this to be a viewer choose routes or viewer quote unquote demands routes. You know, because then it's going to kind of
Orbit 2377, contact center on 119.1. Good day.
Changing centers.
119.1 orbit 2377. Sino Center orbit 2377 flight level 370.
Orbit 2377, Center Center. Continue to the gas as planned.
Alright, we'll ask them for our first reduction.
Sino Center orbit 2377. Request flight level 320.
Orbit 2377 descend and maintain flight level 320.
Descend and maintain flight level 320 orbit 2377.
Hello, Richard. Well, I get that. Ethan, welcome back, Camilla. You know, hopefully your parents or whoever can get it for you. So, yeah. But I do I want you to know I do appreciate you coming in the stream and hanging out. I think I'm going to have to find a way. Gotta find a way to maybe in the description or the title I'm gonna have to put a kind of a warning or a I don't want to say a warning, but some kind of like a statement that this is not going to be a viewer choose routes channel, just so that everybody's clear about that. And maybe, Mick, there's a way, something that we could plug in at the top, perhaps, instead, other than the traditional, that we could pin the message that this is not a viewers choose routes sort of thing. Yeah, heads up. There you go. Thank you, Mel. You know what I was trying to say. All right, let's get this back to knots because we are going faster than we should be. Go. Yeah, just some kind of a warning or a statement of some kind that's not the That's not what we do here. And I like this flight today. I just kind of looked at what could we do, something different, because we've been flying a lot in Europe and in America. Now that the A320 is, for all intents and purposes, pretty stable now. I feel comfortable flying it, doing this, because I don't think the system's going to die on me. I hope not. So yeah, but yeah, usually a lot of flights, they sound like they'd be amazing, but then you look at the amount of time, and it's just not. I'm not going to do a long distance flight. I would have to plan that well in advance, because that's a lot of time. Not just in the simulator, but also in real life. How long is this flight? We've been going for about an hour 45. So it says it's about a 2-hour or so flight. The route that I picked was the shortest route. And the interesting thing is, there was 3 different routes to choose from. The other 2 that I could have picked were way longer. So when I filed the flight plan, I think it automatically gives you the option of the shortest route within, certain parameters or whatever. So, yeah, it's the A320, Ethan. So I try whenever I stream, I try to do a flight that is a reasonable amount of time for me and you guys, because if I have a bad feeling, okay, and I'm just going to say this as eloquently as I can. If I plan a 6-hour flight, like the flight from San Francisco to New York LaGuardia or New York JFK, that's about 5, almost 6 hours. That's a long time for you guys to be sitting watching me. That's a long time for me to have my butt planted in my recliner to do the flight. So I am a bit leery about a long flight like that. I want to do it, but I don't see, like, I don't feel like it would be something where people are going to sit there for that entire 5 hours, for instance. So yeah, whenever I'm planning, I'm on the Xbox, Ethan. Whenever I plan, I look at the flights because I have a notebook right here with me, and I say, okay, on this date we're flying. Here's my takeoff airport, and I write down the departure information. And then I pick the destination. I write down all the arrival sort of aspect of the flight. So arrival, and then what kind of approach we're going to do, ILS, RNAV, so that when I go back, like this morning, before we started the flight, I got into the world map, plugged in the information that I wrote down, and then it's all there. So I try to keep meticulous notes so that when I'm getting ready to fly, I have that information right there and I can plug it in. No, I'm not a real-time pilot. No. But I try to do stuff that's a reasonable amount of viewing time. You know, I think I talked about this before, and I'll kind of talk about it again.
2377, contact Dakar Center on 129.1.
Oh, I thought Dakar Center was way behind us. That's interesting.
129.1 for orbit 2377.
When I took the
Dakar
radio
Center,
production
orbit
class,
2377, flight level 320.
Orbit 2377
the way it was
Dakar Center,
explained
continue to degas as planned.
that when you're doing a show, or in this case when we do a stream, you try to break it up into segments, or you try to do something that is going to keep the interest of the audience for that period of time. So like music, you do 3, maybe 4 songs, no more than that. Then you have your breaks or whatever, your quick station identifier and all that stuff. So that's why I try to keep the flights below, within a reasonable amount of time. It keeps the viewers engaged for at least a reasonable amount of time. It's easy for me to deal with. So yeah, those are all things that I consider. There are people on Twitch or on YouTube who do much longer flights than I do. That's their thing. They're able to do that, and they've built up an audience, or they have, other people join them, kind of thing. So it's like a community flight sort of thing, which I guess it's possible to do on the. Let's go to 30,000 feet. It's somewhat possible to do, but I doesn't seem very stable to do. So yeah,
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request flight level 300.
Orbit 2377, descend and maintain flight level 300.
Go.
Descend and maintain flight level 300, orbit 2377.
So yeah, I try to take all those things into account. Now, the other thing too is that whenever I plan a flight, it will say, it won't give me like an estimated flight time. Like when I plan it, it'll say like 2.5 hours or hour and a half or whatever. Sometimes that is nowhere near the right estimation, and so it can be a bit frustrating because I want it to be within a certain amount of time, and then it may go longer, and then it's like, okay, now we've gone past what I feel is a reasonable amount of time. So, yeah, I try to look at all those things when I'm thinking about this, what I'm going to stream for the week. I try to plan it all out, at least a week in advance. So that way I know where we're going, what we're going to be doing, what aircraft we're going to be flying, that sort of thing. And, when I first started this, it was just kind of like, I would say, okay, tomorrow we're going to go here, and then I'd say, crap. Like the next day when I wake up, I'm like, okay, I know I'm flying, but where am I flying to and from? So I made the effort to I have to write all that information down, so that way I don't forget. I know where I'm going, what I'm doing, kind of thing, and part of it is also knowing that whatever I am comfortable with the aircraft that I'm flying. I kind of know where all the switches and all that kind of stuff are located. Like here in the A320, I know where the autopilot is. the auto thrust automatically engages once we take off, and I get into the CL mode right there. The auto thrust is engaged at that level, and then I put the flight director on, and we're off and running. You know, so. But I try to do things that I feel comfortable flying the plane, because I'll test it. You know, if I'm like, okay, we're going to do this, I'll test it off stream beforehand, so that when we're, you know, when I say, okay, we're going to fly this plane next week, or tomorrow we'll fly something different, and then I have a good feeling about how it's going to go. I hope that makes sense. For those of you who are still here listening. I might have scared people off. I don't know. Alright, we'll get a little bit closer, and then we'll go down to flight level 200. And then we'll keep making reasonable descent decreases in altitude until basically we're not able to do that anymore, and then we'll take all our directions from the ATC, and then we should line up pretty much straight on for our RNAV approach like we did yesterday. We're going to kind of circle around, and then once we contact, I think we'll contact the approach, and then we should be pretty much set for that for the remainder of the flight. I think we're going to have to manually land it, because I don't think there's another system with the RNAV that the approach mode can lock into. I don't think. So, but if we have to hand fly it in, we can do that. We'll have the guidelines, we'll see the glide slope, glide path, so we can we know visually where we're at, and then we'll fly it on in, touch down, get to the gate, we'll wrap it all up. So we're prepared to do that. So, as a matter of fact, I think that's what we're going to do. We're not going to worry about trying to engage the approach mode. We're just going to disable the autopilot. We'll leave the auto throttle on, because I screwed up yesterday. I came in almost a little short of that runway. That could have ended badly. So I'm going to leave the auto throttle on. We'll go ahead and just, you know, make a reasonable descent along the glide path, land it, and then we'll be done. So I apologize in advance, because once I turn off some of the systems, I can't look at the chat and focus on what's going on in front of me. So I do hope that you will stick around for all that. You know, go ahead and put your comments in. Just realize that I'm not going to be able to see them until we're on the ground taxiing, and then I'll take a look. All right, we'll let everybody know to make their quick runs to the restroom. The flight attendants can go ahead and start collecting up the garbage, check on the passengers, any last minute things that might make our remaining part of the flight comfortable for everybody. So here comes the professional announcement. Attention passengers, we have turned on the seatbelt sign. The flight attendants will be coming through the cabin to kind of collect things up. If you need to run to the restroom, please do so at this time. Otherwise, please remain seated. We are beginning our initial descent into Abidjan, and we will provide you with any updates as needed once we get to the gate. Thank you. There you go. Alright, still get a little bit closer before we go to 20,000 feet. Well, we still got a bit to go, Ethan. We've got 128 nautical miles to that marker there in front of us, 199 nautical miles to the airport itself. So I can't tell you for sure when it's going to happen. We're starting to drop some altitude to prepare for our arrival part of the flight to line up for our approach into Abidjan. So I can't tell you. I can't give you a time estimate. We still got a bit to go. What I do know, what I've learned over the time that I've been flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator is that the last portion of the flight, even though when you're a passenger, it doesn't feel like it happens very quickly. It's like you can't, things aren't happening fast enough, but the distance that we have left to cover is going to kind of melt away before we know it. So that last bit of the flight it feels like there's a lot that happens very quickly. So yeah. Pardon me, I have to I'll be right back. Okay. I just need to step away for just a moment, folks. I'll be right back. Okie doke, I'm back. Alright, let's see. Let's get a little bit closer before we go to request our next decrease. I don't want to go to 200 just yet. Yeah, all right, 2 hours and 4 minutes so far on the flight. I'm guessing that 2.5 might be about right. Although, I need to look at that instead of my streaming time, because it takes, usually I talk for a few minutes before we load into the aircraft and get things going. So yeah, I'm guessing that's about right. All right, we see the edge there where the little white dot is. That's part of our arrival part of the flight, all those markers. So we'll track to the right just a bit. Ooh, the wind's coming. We're flying into the wind. Oh, nice. Might make things a little bit easier. We might pick up a little bit of time, I think. Is it a tail? No, a tailwind's what we want to kind of push us along. Headwind, I think it's like we're up against a wall. Yeah. We'll see when we get past here what the next marker. I think we can kind of look at it already. Next marker is going to be at flight level 620. Am I reading that correctly? I think I am. Yep. Looks like flight level 620. Or altitude 6,200. Because once we go below flight level 180, we're back into the regular, 10,000, 9,000 feet, even though it's showing this as 19,200 feet. And what we could do, let's just go ahead and ask for
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request flight level 250.
Orbit 2377, descend and maintain flight level 250.
There we go.
Descend and maintain flight level 250, orbit 2377.
Some interesting scenery as we start to descend. A little bit of cloud cover. It's like low-level cloud cover as we're coming in. Maybe a couple thousand feet off the ground. We'll just go straight to 19 after we fly at 250 for just a bit. I think we'll go to 19,000 feet, and then we should be pretty much set. Well, if there is, there is. One of the things, Ethan, is I'm trying to fly in the live weather so that regardless of what's happening, we're going to fly through it. If there was thunderstorms, we'd fly through thunderstorms. Now, the only time I change that is on Spitfire Saturday and Scenic Sunday, because we want to enjoy the scenery. But otherwise, we try to keep the weather realistic. I used to turn the weather off, but now I feel that there's no reason to have the weather off. an extra viewer on Twitch. Thanks for... yes, I live in America, Ethan. A little bit closer, and we'll go to class 190.
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request flight level 190.
Orbit 2377, descend and maintain flight level 190.
Descend and maintain flight level 190, orbit 2377.
Oh, very nice. I think you mentioned that before, Ethan. Track. Despite that crazy circling that we had to do en route, but yeah, we're things are doing just fine. All right, let's zoom out or zoom in just a bit. All right, there's 3 different levels. The base game on PlayStation or on the Xbox is free through Game Pass. The other 2 versions are no, the high-end version's like $120 or so, I think. I can't remember, but there's the standard, there's the deluxe, and then there's the standard, premium, and then premium deluxe are the 3 levels. But the standard version, you don't have to pay for anything. So if you have Game Pass, you can download the standard game for free. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in the microphone. But if you don't have Game Pass, then the standard... No, it's not. It's only on the Xbox or PC, Ethan. It's a Microsoft product, and Sony is not a Microsoft product. So no, it's not on the PlayStation. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and slow down to 210 just so that we're... Once we start descending further, we're already set up speed-wise for our I don't think the PS4 could actually handle a game like this. The PS4 is way too old graphically. With the design of the PS4, I don't think the graphics card or whatever's in there could handle a game like this. Maybe in theory the PS5 could, but I don't foresee Microsoft ever allowing this to be sold through on the PlayStation. well, I think we're all set here. We just need to go past degas and see what's in store for us from here. Let's go zoom back out a little bit there. All right. Yeah, so turn, there'll be a circle. We'll kind of make some lazy turns here and there, and then we'll turn in that little diamond right to the right of the right there. It looks kind of almost like it's an orange diamond. That's our airport, so that's where we're going to land. Oops. Yep, exactly. We're getting closer, Ethan. Bokro Villa? I don't know how to pronounce that. Bokro Villa? Villa? It's fine, Ethan. I got it under control. Yep, we got plenty of time, trust me. But thank you for your advice. Yes, I will, Ethan. Tomorrow is Spitfire Saturday. We're flying the Spitfire tomorrow morning. I'm not saying where just yet because I want it to be a surprise. And but I can tell you for sure we're going to take the F-14 through the Mach Loop in the UK. So, yeah. Mick, if you're here, how's the gift wrapping going? I'm guessing you're still lurking. All right. Well, we still got 88 nautical miles, Ethan. We're close, but not like we're not lining up just yet. We got our done for the moment. Had some more turn up, but that will be sorted out. So they just so basically what you're saying, Mick, is that you thought you had everything done, and then more presents were presented to you for wrapping. Did I get that correct? And if so, how bad was the eye rolling when the additional presents were presented to you for wrapping? All right, any moment now we'll turn to the right there. There we go. All right, now we can go from, let's drop 8,000 feet.
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request 11,000 feet.
Orbit 2377, descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet, orbit 2377.
We still got a bit to go, Ethan. So if we look at this, I zoom in, we've got all that right there to deal with, and then the lineup is right out here somewhere. But we still got a bit to go. .23 knot wind coming in from 094. Wow. That's almost easterly. Well, this is going to make for an interesting... No, it's not bad weather, Ethan. There's no... It's just... It's fine. You would know if it was bad weather, trust me. No, this isn't bad weather at all. It's a little cloudy. It's just basically windy. That's about it. There's nothing unusual about that. If we were in bad weather, we'd be flying through clouds here pretty much the rest of the way in. It's funny, I just saw the recycle truck collection truck come and get the stuff out of the recyclables, and I thought today was Saturday, and I'm like, wait, no, it's Friday. That's when they usually come. I'm like a day ahead of myself for some reason. I don't know. Ask the flight attendants to check the cabin one more time. D3390. Kimball just went by my house. Okay, I don't know who Kimball is, but okay. Okay, Ethan, you don't have to put the caps, okay? Yep, I'm going to just go ahead and remove that. Yeah, please do not put caps in, because that's like, you're shouting at me. You could have just put, it's the trash company, okay?
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request 6,000 feet.
Orbit 2377, descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet, orbit 2377.
Okay. Alright, take care, Ethan. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Thanks for popping by. Please do leave a thumbs up on your way out. Please and thank you. Little snow flurries again. Mick or Mela, if you're still here, could you scroll back up in the chat and find that so I could look into it, the Cleveland something or other to Orlando that Ethan was talking about, please and thank you, and just screenshot it and just send it to me in the Discord, please. Appreciate it. Just so I have an idea of what to look for, so that I can see if it's something I can throw into the plan later on. All right. Probably should have written it down on the notepad here by me, just so that I can have a look at it and see what really all's entailed of it, that flight. Yeah, I think that's definitely Ethan's going to be the last one for a requested route. We're going to institute the no request policy. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that in the channel, kind of like the Pout section, and see if at least put that in there so people who come to the channel realize that. Oh, thank you, Mick. Appreciate it. I got 5 viewers over on Twitch. Well, thank you all for coming in. We are on our way to Abidjan. We should be landing here pretty soon. Looks like we're going to go down to 2,000 feet here pretty soon. So yeah, after we pass D3390, I think then we'll start getting our additional instructions from ATC. And I think it's going to be successive steps from 6,000 feet down to 2,000 feet. It'll be like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm guessing. I could be wrong, but I think that's what's getting ready to happen. See if I'm right or not. Start slowing down here. What, the coming into Abidjan, Amela? I think you said you have family that still lives here, right? Well, hello, Chris. Just in time for the landing. Better late than never, huh? Everybody always likes the takeoff and landings. It's the rest of the part that nobody's interested in, unless we're doing a scenic tour. Oh, nice, Amela. Still within that 6,000 feet, so I'm just going to wait. We're close enough to that we're okay. So, really, I can hear the wind. Let's take a look inside and see where. Oh, it's coming directly from almost northeast at 15, 16 knots. That's interesting. Normally by now we would have been getting our
Center, orbit 2377. Request 5,000 feet.
Orbit 2377 descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet, orbit 2377.
That's interesting, because normally we should have been getting instructions already for our descent.
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request 4,000 feet.
Orbit 2377 descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect 4,000 feet. Orbit 2377.
Orbit
A little bit of
2377
snow.
descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Orbit 2377.
Let's go 160. Right, we are still got a little bit to go.
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request 2,000 feet.
Orbit 2377, request denied.
Dakar Center, orbit 2377. Request 3,000 feet.
Orbit 2377, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, orbit 2377.
Orbit 2377, you are 13 miles west. Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect RNAV runway 03 approach via Gallus transition. Cleared to Gallus.
Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect RNAV runway 03 approach via Gallus transition. Cleared to Gallus orbit 2377.
Orbit 2377, climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet, orbit 2377.
Orbit 2377, please expedite your climb 15,000 feet. Orbit 2377, please expedite your climb 15,000 feet. Orbit 2377, descend and maintain 2,200 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,200 feet, orbit 2377.
Oh my god, I've been on mute this entire time. I think I coughed and I didn't take... Okay, anyway, so I ignored the 15,000 feet. I've been talking all this time. It didn't seem very reasonable, and I thought a lot of this stuff had been fixed. But apparently it's back. You know, these crazy, but, you know... there's no way in the world I'm going to go up to 15,000 and zip right back down to 2,200, so... You know, I still don't quite understand why it comes up with that sort of request. But anyway, we're set up for success, I think. Once we have one more turn to make, which will take us into our approach.
Orbit 2377, you are 12 miles southwest of Abidjan. Contact
Yep.
Abidjan Tower on 118.1 when inbound.
Tower on 118.1, orbit 2377. Abidjan Tower, orbit 2377, 12 miles southwest inbound, RNAV runway 03 approach.
Orbit 2377 Abidjan Tower.
2980.
Altimeter
Okay.
29.80, wind 214 at 17. Cleared RNAV runway 03 approach.
Cleared RNAV runway 03 approach, orbit 2377.
Had a feeling our altimeter was going to be a bit off. Okay. Here we are. All right. Let's get the landing gear down. Let's go to 140. All right, folks. Yeah, a little bit of snow flurries. It's not much to stick. It's like a slushy snow right now. Here where I live. Well, let's see. If I do hit the approach mode, is there a localizer that is going to lock in? No. Well, it seemed like there was. Hold on a second. Is there a glide path? Will it take over? I think there is. Oh, we might be in business. Oh, we might be in business. Oh, yes. I think we're in business. There we go. I wasn't sure if we were going to get that or not. Okay. Well, now I don't... Now I feel a little bit better about coming into this landing
Orbit
here.
2377, wind 214 at 17. Cleared to land runway 03.
It seems to be
Clear
hit
to
and
land
miss when
runway
it comes
03,
to
orbit 2377.
the RNAV approaches. Well, that just takes a lot of pressure off now. Look at that, nice. We're coming in over the water here.
1,000.
All right, here we go.
$500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30.
Ooh, that just floated a little bit too long. Oh, oh.
20.
We gotta get on the ground. Ooh, ooh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Ooh. Well, there we are. Welcome to Abidjan, everybody. The local time is, I couldn't tell you. It looks like we should have come in the other way. I don't think there's any... I'm going to have to turn around. Well, we floated a little bit longer than we should have. But we're here. That's all that matters. Yeah, we should have come in from the other direction. That probably would have been the better approach because the taxiways and everything are behind us. But now we know. We couldn't have foreseen that. Oh, thank you, Mela. It was almost, it seemed like it was going to be bad because we floated way longer than I wanted to for once we got over the runway. It's just like it was...
77 exit runway when able.
I will as soon as I can get back towards the area here. Oh, hello, Bex. Well, we landed, but we had to come down here and turn around and head back towards our taxiway. How are you, Bex? Welcome. Got here just in time. Just like Chris, better late than never. Okay, so that engaged, the localizer engaged. All right, perfect. That's why we were able to get that approach mode.
Orbit 23, 77 turn next taxiway.
Oops, we're slowing down here. It seems like we're slowing down. Well, that's good. Bex, always nice to finish early on a Friday.
Orbit 23, 77 turn next taxiway. taxiway.
Yeah, I know. Goodness gracious. I'll turn when I get there. Good lord. There's nowhere else for me to turn. I mean, I could turn onto the grass, but I don't think he'd like that. Yeah, we should have come in the other way.
Orbit 2377 exit runway when able.
There, just so you'll get off my case. I'm going to turn right here. There we go.
Orbit 2377 contact ground on 118.1.
118.1 orbit 2377. Abidjan ground orbit 2377 taxi to the gate.
Orbit 2377 taxi to gate 18 via taxiway cross runway 03.
Taxiing to gate 18 via taxiway cross runway 03 orbit 2377.
Well, why would we have to go out on the runway? We're on a taxiway here. We might as well just use this taxiway here. Seems like an out-of-the-way way to go. Here we go, breaking the rules, breaking the rules. Such a naughty pilot, breaking the rules. Oh, we have a few other A320s here. Well, wow, that 3-hour thing we did, that was 3 hours, so I figured it would be a little bit over 2.5. Do appreciate everybody coming in today, hanging out on this Friday, the last Friday of November. Hard to believe that November's already over. Well, I think we can go ahead and shut it down here. And go ahead and connect the
Abidjan
jetway
ground
at
orbit
least.
2377. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Orbit 2377, the jetway, is going to be connected.
Yay. Let's watch the door pop open. Come on, door pop open. There we go. Door's open. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for today, folks. I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. If you haven't already, please do leave a thumbs up before the end of the stream. I greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow, Spitfire Saturday. Nice surprise. We won't say where we're going, but we are flying the Spitfire. And then we're going to have a bit of fun, and we're going to go over to... we're going to get in the Tomcat, and we're going to take some flights through the Mach Loop for fun, and then we'll be done. So please do join us. An hour later than normal, it'll be 12:30 UK time, 7:30 East Coast time. And so, yeah, should be good fun. Go ahead and shut down the engines here and get our 2 hours and 44 minutes of flying. There we go. We're almost at the 200 hours total flight time, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, Spitfire Saturday, F-14 through the Mach Loop. Bring your sick bags if you need to, because we're going to go in there and do some barrel rolls and go fast and all that good stuff. So maybe we'll even go inverted. Who knows? Anyway, take care and enjoy the rest of your Friday. I will see you all later. Peace.